Hey guys, what's going on? Sam again, back with a video. So that's an issue. Something that I wanted to talk about today. This isn't really my opinion. This has nothing to do with my opinion, but this is going to be explaining the Pythagorean Theorem. Now, my friends, I love this topic so much. It's my favorite thing in math. If you guys don't know, I'm in 8th grade. I've already passed the Pythagorean Theorem, but I still cannot get my mind off of it because I love it so much. Now, it's 8th grade work math, and I have it behind me, and then I'm going to do some examples, but I'm mostly just going to kind of explain it. And all my friends, they hate it when I explain it because I go on forever, but I love explaining it, so I just had to do a video on it because I love explaining it so much. This video is more for the math nerds such as myself, but now also something I want to mention is that I feel like I am good at math, but I do have a tutor who helps me out. He is an amazing guy, and then I also have a female sorry, I can't think. A female tutor that also helps me out a lot. But for the Pythagorean Theorem, that was mostly the guy who helped me with it, my math tutor. So thank you so much for helping me get through math. But I think I'm reasonably good at math. But the Pythagorean Theorem describes the relationship between the lengths of the legs and the hypotenuse for any right triangle. You can use the Pythagorean Theorem to find the length of a side of a right triangle when you know the other two sides. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And c squared is the longest side of a right triangle, aka the hypotenuse. And a squared and b squared can be flipped around even though they might have a designated spot. It's kind of like multiplication and addition. You don't really need a specific thing. You can go either way. But that's only for a squared and b squared, though. So the original equation is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, how you solve that is, so the book gives us an example. Right here, I'll go ahead and read it. It shows us a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, in this case, the a squared is 12 and the b squared is 9. But we don't know the c squared. It's what we're trying to find out. And 12 times, now squared is important because squared is 12 in this case times itself. So 12 in this other case. Now there's also cubed and then 4, and those are exponents, but right now it's squared. So 12 squared, excuse me, is 144. And 9 squared is 81. Now 144 plus 81 is 225 equals c squared. But here's the thing, is that we don't have our answer yet, even though 225 equals c squared. Remember, we're trying to find c, not c squared. Now, even though we need it to be squared to figure out the answer. But how we figure out the answer is if you square root the c squared, it becomes a c, and if you square root 225, it becomes 15, making it c equals 15. That is the original kind of equation. But then it could also be flip-flopped. C squared minus a or b squared equals a or b squared. So we'll say c squared minus a squared equals b squared. So how you do that is, in this case, we are trying to find our b squared. You know what? No, we'll say a squared. C squared minus b squared equals a squared. So we have our c and we have our b. So let's go ahead and say our c is, we'll say our c is 6. Okay. 6 squared is, actually, hold on. Our c is 6. I'm going to write this one down. So c squared minus b squared equals a squared. So in this case, our c is 6 squared minus, we'll say 2 squared for b, so b is equal to 2. No, not b. So 6 squared minus 2 squared equals a squared. So now we have our numbers. 6 squared and 2 squared. Now 6 squared is 36. 6 times 6 is 36. And 2 squared is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. So then you take 36 minus 4, which makes 32. And then we have a squared. So let me go ahead and write that down. Hold on. 36 minus 4 equals a squared. And then this equals 32 equals a squared. Now we're going to square root the 32 and the a. And the a squared now becomes an a. And then we have 32. Now 32 squared, I might actually need a calculator for this one, because I can't do squaring off the top of my head. I can do like a few squares, but 36 is not one of them. Wait. What? I'm an idiot. Wow. So just to check my answer, I'm gonna, can this turn on? Or this? It won't turn on. To check my answer, I believe it's 6 squared. 6 times 6 is 30. Oh, we're looking for 32. So that's 8 then. 8. No, that's 4. So then 8 times what? So something times itself equals 32. Give me 1 second. I'm going to check my answers. Alright, guys. I am back. The answer to that is 5.65 equals A. And then if you're trying to find, in this case we were trying to find our A, but if you're trying to find your B, then the equation comes C squared minus A squared equals B squared. And you will always know what your C squared is, and the reason why is because, like I said in the beginning, the C squared, let me make a right triangle really quickly. Usually I determine the A. Can you guys see that? Hold on. My handwriting is very bad, so please don't judge. Where's the right triangle? Right there. So we have I usually depict the A as this side and the B as this side, and then that little curve is the right there. And then our C will always be the longest side, aka the hypotenuse. And that is the Pythagorean Theorem explained in my opinion, a fairly simple way. Have a good day.